y'all, and welcome to today's video. I'm so very excited because I have the new Dead of Night palette from Unearthly, one of my favorite brands. I'm so excited. This is such a fun, cool tone nighttime color story. We are gonna do swatches. I'm gonna create 3 different looks for y'all. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this palette. It's gonna be a good time. And if you're new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I do hope that you will subscribe before you leave today so you don't miss out on any of my future content. I've been uploading like every day, 7 videos a week, so make sure you stick around for that. But I cannot wait. I'm so excited about this palette, so let's jump into it. The Dead of Night palette is launching on November 17th. It's going to be $40. I will leave all the details down below, but Unearthly did send me this palette early, so I'm so excited. I have been playing with it, swatching it, testing it, and I am so into this color story. Let me show you a close-up of the palette when it's new and untouched and all of that. I love the moons that are pressed into the pans. I think that's so cool. I really like that extra touch with this palette, and I really like this green, blue, purple, gray leaning color story that we have. I think this is a lot of fun, and I know Unearthly said that they wanted to do an expansion to their In the Dark palette. So I don't really do a lot of comparisons on my channel, but I do wanted to show you like these two side by side because In the Dark launched last year and they kind of like repackaged it, and now we have this, which I definitely see like that this palette was the inspiration and then they kind of went from there to create this one, but there's no repeating shades, no duplicate shades, nothing like that. Completely different palettes, but I did want to hold them up next to each other. So since if you loved In the Dark, like maybe you want to see it next to this one. But let me also show you swatches of this palette. I love doing swatches. I think they're so fun and helpful to see the color story swatched out. But of course, the true test of the shadow is how they work on the eyes. So that's why we're going to do 3 looks today. Now, I do have an affiliate code with Unearthly. If you're ever shopping the Unearthly site and you want to save, you can use code Heather, and that will save you at checkout. Thank you so much if you ever use my codes. But remember, a free way to support your favorite creators is just to click on their videos, engage with their comment. I love when y'all leave me comments, emojis, everything. It helps me out so much. But I mean, listen, if you're new here, hey, I love Unearthly. I love their color stories, packaging, inspiration, formulas, everything. It's one of my favorite brands. And if you've been here for a while, this is not news to you. I also wanted to point out that we do have a really nice big mirror in this palette. I love when mirrors have palettes. I know not all the time palettes can have mirrors, but I really like that with this one. And for size comparison to the In the Dark, you can see how it compares right there. So it's definitely bigger, but I'm into it. We're gonna play with the shades. I'm excited to show you some looks. So I'm ready. I'm ready for shadow. I am going to prime my eyes. I'm going to zoom y'all in and we will create a look with Dead of Night. Okay, so my eyes are primed and ready for shadow. I want to go in with the darkest matte first for this look. So I'm gonna go with this matte purple called Dimness. And then we're gonna kind of blend and buff it out with Sweet Dreams, this kind of more mid-tone purple. So I'm going to start with this A6 brush from Unearthly. Make sure there's no creases in my eye primer. And I'm going to press on this dark purple. I just want this to go all into the crease. And not too worried about blending. Right now, I just want to get the shadow on and then I can buff a little bit, but we're really just going to blend it out with that Sweet Dreams shade. That shade is so rich and dark and I love that. Oh, Purple is so pretty. Okay, I'm just taking it up, up, up like this. Okay, now I've got a smaller, fluffier brush. This is an Unearthly 8-7. And I'm just going to take this and buff along the edges. That way we have this dark purple to kind of this more mid-tone lighter shade of purple. And I'm just barely touching my skin with this. These are blending really, really easily. Just kind of going back and forth, blending with little circular motions and making sure I just have a nice blend. All right, for the lower lash line, what I want to do is go in with this really pretty shade called Merc, and then I kind of want to buff it out with this shade right here called Misty. I think these two are going to be really, really pretty together. So I'm going to grab this Unearthly 8-7 brush. I'm going straight into the shade Merc, and I'm going to press this onto my lower lash line. And just make sure I'm getting that pigment there. I want it right up against the lashes. And then just kind of pressing, blending. But we're going to blend it out with that really light pale purple shade. So I'm not worried about blending this out too much. I mainly just want to get the color on. So like that. And then just pressing. And then I'm going to take this 8-3 brush with the shade Misty, and I'm going to just put that underneath that Merc shade and wrap it around. So it's gonna blend really beautifully. I'm not taking the shade Misty, this light purple, up as high as the lower lashes. I'm just keeping it on the edge of the Merc shade. So I'm very, very lightly touching my skin, not being like rough or anything with my under eye area, just lightly adding this color on. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that deep dark purple matte that we started with, and I'm just going to press it onto the lid right here on the outer corner and kind of just make sure that what we did on the lower lash line, it kind of like wraps around to meet with the dark purple that we have up top. So I just like tapped my brush in once to that matte purple using the same brush we used earlier, and I'm just pressing it right there, making sure it wraps around. Oh, I love these colors together. I love, love, love these colors together. Okay, I want to take my 8-4 brush and I want to use this shade Dead of Night all over the lid, all over the lid. So I'm just going to pick this up. I am going to spray my brush. I just love doing that, but if you'd rather use your finger to apply your shimmer, use a dry brush, whatever you want to do, you do you. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Ooh, that is deep and dark and pretty. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm just going to put this all over my lid. I'm even going to bring it up a little bit above my lid, kind of like into my socket, but not above that. And I'm going to take it almost all the way out, but I'm going to leave the very outer part of the lid with that matte purple shadow, because I want to keep that dark and matte and just keep this beautiful sparkly shimmer shade the focus of the lid. So I'm just going to press it like that. Now I feel like the look is like really coming together. Once I add a shimmer, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that's what I like. I really think this blue is pretty. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Blue and purple together, just love it. I want to add an inner corner shade from this palette, and while I think a matte inner corner would be really pretty, I'm gonna go for a shimmer instead. I'm gonna go for this shade right up here called Star. This one looks so sparkly, like so sparkly, so I'm excited. I'm gonna pick this up on a 8-6 brush. Okay, let's take that and we'll put it in the inner corner, and I'll kind of wrap it around so that it bridges what we have going on up top with what we have on the lower lash line, and that's really beautiful. So this is like a blue, purple, pinky shift. Really, really pretty. Okay. So what I'm going to do is see if I need to blend anymore. Pop on some eyeliner, mascara. I'm going to do a lash today. I feel like we're pretty dramatic, so I think a lash will be pretty with this look. And then I'll come back. We'll see how everything comes together, and you'll see the final look. But this is, I mean, this is it. All right, y'all, here is my completed look. I did put on some black eyeliner. I put on blue in the waterline. I think it Milk Makeup. What's the shade? This is Time. And I put on Kiss Royal Silk Lashes. I love this eye look. I think the mattes are very easy to work with while also being very pigmented. I didn't really have to work hard to build up that purple matte, and then it was so easy to buff and blend out. This shimmer has so much like reflectiveness in it. I'm just kind of moving so you can see how the light hits that shimmer. It's just so beautiful. I love the inner corner shade. I really, really love this look. I'm actually really excited because I get to have a day date with my husband. We're gonna go to lunch together, just me and him. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. So I get to wear this look on our lunch date. I'm excited. Okay, anyways, I am also wearing the Unearthly Cosmetics single blush in the shade Pop. That's what I have on for blush. And for highlight, I'm using the Low Light palette. Y'all know this is like my favorite highlighter formula that Unearthly does. Let me, whoops, hold on. Let me just turn it like this so I can show you the shades. I'm wearing Low Light right here, and then I'm wearing Comet right here. So that's the highlight that you see. I know colorful highlighters can be intimidating if you've never used them. And so often when I use colorful highlighters, like I go all in. But today I decided just to take kind of a smaller highlighter brush and just lightly go on top so that it's not like wham bam in your face, you know, but still like enough for me. I'm also doing a matte lip. I thought since we had such shine on the eyes and the highlight, I would do matte, and this is Unearthly Cruel matte lipstick. I've worn these lots now. I would say 6 or 7 days, and they're very comfortable on the lips. They wear really well without fading, and they don't make me feel super dry. So yeah, here is the first look. I'm into it, I'm feeling it, but we do have more looks to do. So as much as I love this one and I could just sit here all day, let's jump into the next look. All right, y'all, I'm excited to jump into the look today. I do have my eyes primed, and we're gonna start off with this shade right over here called Gloom. This really pretty mid-tone gray. It looks like a matte with a little bit of shimmer to it. And then it has a moon embossed on the pan. So I'm gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my eye primer. And I'm gonna press this on first, just pressing. And then I'm just gonna blend. This is going to be our crease shade. It's gonna go right in the socket. I'm gonna blend it above so I can open up my eye a bit, and then below too. I just want to get the shade kind of all over nice and blended. All right, that first brush I used was an Unearthly A6 brush. Now I'm gonna go in with this Blend Bunny brush, and I wanna dip into this shade right next to the gray that we used. This is called Merc, and I'm just going to coat my brush, and we're going to put this right out here in the outer corner. I'm not gonna bring it up too high, but I just want to use it to add a little depth out here. So I'm just going to press it on like this and then just slowly blend. Again, I want to make sure I'm not bringing it up too high. I want to keep it pretty low on the lid, and I'm going to wrap it around this outer corner too. Okay, I love these two shades together. I think they look so rich and pretty, and I'm here for it. On the lid, I want to add in this really pretty silvery blue. I don't know. Let's get it on the lid. It's called Nightfall, and I'm going to pick that up with a Unearthly 8.5 brush. I am going to spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray, makeup mist, whatever you want to use is just fine. I just like to pick up the shadow on my brush first and then spray it. It'll just make any shimmery shadow a little more intense, and it'll also help lessen any fallout that I may get. Okay, so this shade is going to go all over the lid. That is really pretty. Ooh, I can't tell. It's like a nickel color, like not silver like a dime, but more like a nickel color with a blue like shift or undertone to it. I don't know. That's interesting. I know that y'all already saw the swatches. I haven't done the swatches yet. So this is really pretty. Oh, I like that. Isn't that? Oh, and I love it. I love it. If you wanted to keep this look even more simple, just that gray that we used and then this all over the lid, skip the color in the outer corner, throw on mascara, and you have a really, really simple but still very pretty look. But I am really liking this. Okay, now we're going to put some color on the lower lash line. And for that, I've gone back and forth. I really think you could do several different things and they would look great. You could just, this outer corner color that we used, Merc, you could put that under the lower lash line. Just have a look with 3 shades. It'll be very simple but very pretty. I think purple or green would look great, but I think I'm going to take it with this shade right down here called Bedtime. It looks like a matte navy that has a little bit of purple sparkle to it. So I'm using it on this 810 Unearthly brush, and I just want to lightly put that on the lower lash line. And then once I have like the line down, the pigment down like this, then I'm going to go in and I'm just going to blend it a little bit lower, because I want this to come down not super low, but I don't want it just right there up against the lashes. I want it to come down maybe to about here. And then instead of using a shade from this palette for the inner corner, I think I'm going to use a face highlight shade. So I have the low light palette. I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup, a lip color, blush and highlight. All right, y'all, I put on some black liner. I used Hindash liquid liner on the top lash line, and then I used my MAC Black Panther liner in the waterline. I put on mascara and these half lashes. I'll link them down below. I'm loving this eye look. I think it's so simple, but I really like it. I think it's just very pretty. I'm into it. I did use Unearthly Single Blush in Hazy. I am wearing, well, you know, I'm wearing this palette, but I did buy the new low light palette. I had the older version and I love it. Like it's a favorite. Love, love, love. But I know that they added a new shade to it. So I bought this palette. It's been gone for so long. And this is the highlight shade that I'm wearing. Laser Beam. That's what I have on my cheeks. And I also put that on the inner corner here. So love, love, love this. So excited they brought that back. I am wearing the matte liquid lipstick in the shade Potion. And then I love a gloss. I love a gloss. So I'm wearing the Unearthly Gloss in Glint. I will link everything down below for y'all, but this is the finished look. I am super duper into it, but we do have more to talk about. So yeah, here's the look. Okay, I have on my eye primer and I'm ready to create a look. We're gonna do something super duper simple today. And I'm gonna start, we're really gonna focus on these 3 shades right here. I'm gonna start with the shade Cloud. We'll also use Forest and Garden. I'm not sure if we'll pull in any more shades. Those are just the ones that I am like really thinking of for this look. So I'm going to take that shade Cloud. Look how pigmented that is. Like that went on so beautifully. Wow, okay, that's pigmented. And I'm just gonna put this right here in kind of the front part of my crease and even above. So you see my crease is like right here, but I'm taking it up higher because when my eyes are open, I want you to still be able to see that blue shade right there. So I'm just going to make sure I kind of press it on here and then I will lightly blend it. Okay, so I have that blue down how I want it. I'm gonna take the shade Forest, the green shimmer, and I'm gonna press it to the center of the lid and I'm going to kind of bring it up right there to the socket, but I'm not gonna go any higher than that. I want to keep it a little bit lower than the blue, but I definitely want this green shimmer to be in the center. That's such a pretty shimmer. Oh my gosh, I really like it next to the green, like the blue next to the green. That's so pretty, so sparkly. Like I can see the way the light hits the shine. That's really pretty. Okay, so for those first 2 shades, I use this Sigma brush. It's one that comes like usually in their larger palettes. Now I'm gonna go in with this Unearthly 8.5 brush and I wanna go into that matte green shade, Garden. I'm just gonna take this and put it right out here in the outer corner first. So I'm going to stamp it on the lash line where we didn't put that green shimmer. And then I'm just going to slowly buff it up and out. And I'm even going to buff this shade down to the lower lash line. So I'm just going to bring it around like this. I'm kind of keeping the shadows a little bit lower today, not blending them up quite as high. And then just taking this green under the lower lash line, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the green shimmer too. So I don't want it to be high impact shimmer down here, but I want there to be just a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to dip into the matte shade and the shimmer green, and I'm just going to lightly buff it on the lower lash line like this. Okay, this is very simple, but I'm liking the way it's coming together. So I'm just going to make sure I blend right in here. But I want to do an inner corner highlight, and I've been going back and forth on what I want to do, and I think we'll just, well, let me find a brush, but I think we'll do this matte light pale purple out here called Misty. Let me see if I have any clean brushes. I know I do, I just have to find one. Okay, this is an old Nabla brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that pale purple right on the inner corner, like that. And then I'm going to do liner and mascara, but this is our finished look right here. I just want to add those little finishing details, see if I need to blend any more. But I kind of like the simplicity of this look, even though it's still very colorful. All right, y'all, here is our third final look. I just added mascara to my lashes, and then for the lower waterline, I went in with MAC Costa Riche. It's like a warm reddish brown liner. I just thought that would be fun, like in between like the green and my eyes. So that's what we did. A very, very simple look, but I really like it. I'll also tell you I'm wearing Shy Single Blush and no highlight. The blush is a little glowy, but not shimmery at all, but it's not matte. Like, it just has this really nice sheen to it. So I decided to skip highlighter. And then on my lips, I'm wearing Unearthly matte liquid lipsticks in Eerie and Autumn. And then I put a little bit of my Too Faced Balm on top. I'll link everything down below. It'll all be listed there. Everything like that if you're like curious about anything else I talked about aside from Dead of Night. Now, you saw the swatches, you saw how the palette performs. I mean, what else can I say? It performs so beautifully. I did not have trouble with any shade in here, and I'm so, so happy about that. I have to say, like, this shade right here, Nightfall, there's just something I love. Like, this is my favorite shade in the palette. It's very interesting. If you end up getting this palette, you'll have to, like, use this shade and let me know what you think, because it's like this dirty silver nickel color that also I'm like, does it have a blue undertone? Does it have a pink undertone? Does it, like, there's something very interesting about this shade to me that I really, really, really enjoy. Overall, I really like this color story, and I think if you're looking at this palette, you've watched, you know, my video, maybe some other videos, you've seen different looks, but then you come to the palette and you're like, okay, what else can I do with this? Look at this in Rose and stick with that, and that will give you 4 shades to work with that will all work together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just stick with that for your look and you'll create something really beautiful. Same with this second row, these 4 shades, same with the bottom row, these 4 shades. You can do that with columns if you like. Whatever you think will help you. I find that sometimes when I'm maybe like not feeling super inspired, not feeling super creative, just looking at a palette and saying, okay, I'm gonna forget the rest of the palette for today and I'm just gonna focus on these 4 shades, it can really help me like feel creative again and think, okay, I just have these 4 shades to work with. Where do I want to place these shades? And it can be like an inspiring way to use your palettes. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed the looks. This is a great quality palette. I'm so happy to have it. If Unearthly did not send me this palette, I totally would have purchased it myself because it's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, if you're on a low buy or a no buy, I hope that maybe I gave you some inspiration. Maybe you can shop your stash, see if you have any shades like this in your collection, create a similar vibe at least with your look. Maybe you're not into makeup and you just want to hang out. I hope that I entertained you. And I just want to say thank y'all so much for coming to hang out with me. I love chatting with y'all about makeup in the comments. So please comment down below. I really, really appreciate it. But thank you so much for being here and watching. Everything I talked about, again, will be in the description box, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!